Hello, and welcome to I'm Too Busy. I'm Christina Flach, your host. I'm a celebrity makeup artist and CEO with a passion for all things beauty, wellness, and success. On this show, I'll take you on exciting journeys, sharing personal stories and insights from inspiring entrepreneurs. Together, we will explore manifestation, health, wellness, and the secrets to thriving in life and business. Let's jump in and get inspired. Hello, and welcome to I'm Too Busy. Today's episode is very special to me because it's not just a conversation, it's a celebration of generosity, love, and the true spirit of Christmas. I am joined by two of my favorite humans that I don't get to see enough, Stacy Flach and Samantha Chudelius from the Sparkle Foundation. Sparkle Foundation started in 2016, and it's completely transformed what the holidays look like for single mothers and their children. This year, Sparkle is supporting 104 families, 210 children, and 314 lives across multiple cities: Phoenix, Los Angeles, Sacramento, and the San Francisco Bay Area. I have been a part of this since the beginning, and it makes me cry. It is just the best day. The whole community gets together, wrapping gifts, delivering them. It's just beautiful. So thank you, girls, for being here. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you for having us, first of all, because we are always more than happy to talk about Sparkle Foundation and the holiday gift drive and everything we do, anytime, any day, anywhere. But I do love a good Christmas spirit adventure. So
I
I'm
just
ready.
thought we had
I'm
to, I just
ready.
thought we had to do this because last Saturday Friday I went and helped to sort things out, put everything out. Saturday I wrapped for a family and then I delivered it, which was the first time I've done that. So that was a really cool experience. And it just warmed my heart. And I thought, we have to do a podcast about this. The world needs to know about my two favorite humans. So let's start at the beginning. What inspired the Sparkle Foundation and why single mothers and children?
My grandma was a single mom in the 1950s with three kids, in an era that did not appreciate or embrace that single motherhood journey. So when I became of age and able to like do something good, not finding what I wanted, I decided to kind of create my own thing and just kind of subconsciously always gravitated towards single moms because I knew the story because my grandma was one. And now here we are 10 years later, almost as a 501(c)(3), touching thousands of lives, bringing in, over $3 million, doing the work, all volunteer, all money in, all money out. And last weekend, I think like it's still hard to process and put words to like what we just pulled off as an organization because it was our biggest ever and it was a lot of work and it was pretty, as you just stated, pretty outstanding.
It really was. It marvels me every year that I go to help. And I do a spec, okay? And I feel great about that. So I can't even imagine what you two feel. But the organization that the two of you have implemented, it's remarkable. There's paper, there's tape, there's scissors, there's bows, there's cards. Every gift has a name. I mean, it is the most organized. I wish the world was this organized. You two should be running the world, quite frankly.
Right, us and
How
the,
did
us
you
and the
get
people
how
from Chick-fil-A.
how did you get your best friend to do this with you, Samantha?
Well, Fleece unfortunately has kind of just assumed this role of when I call him, like, hey, let's do this. So we've been sparkling before we were actually like an official organization. So I actually started this when I was 23, and just was like family and friends. And when I moved to San Francisco in 2006 was when I met Stacy. And we just were like a collective of women that, wanted to do something good. We were part of a networking group, which she had started Skirts. And so our Skirts group, December, we would just wrap gifts for families. And then it just kind of snowballed. And when it became more official, I knew I needed the big guns, to come over here and help me run the show. So that's where Fleece kind of got the tap. And, we say like once you're on the board, like once you're part of the Sparkle family, it's like being in the mob, man. You're never
It's the
getting
mob.
out.
It's the mafia. You're not leaving. You can't.
You do not get to get out.
And
But
why would you go on?
I would say, just to give you a sense of where we've come from, now that like you talked about what you saw on Saturday, 13 years ago, when we were still doing this just as the Skirts group, a collective group of women, our networking group, we sponsored 6 families and raised $4,000. And fast forward 13 years, we're 314 lives, 104 families in four major metropolitan areas, and we're still doing it as a 100% volunteer organization. There is no staff, there is no admin, there's no office. There's like we're all just doing the work in our, in all of our free
Wow.
time. But imagine if a board of, what do we know, Samantha, nine?
We're nine. Yeah,
Yeah.
nine
So a
people.
board of nine, with tapping into our networks, tapping into our spheres, tapping into our circles, and getting all of people like you to come in and help us. If we're able to pull this off for 104 families in four locations without spending a single dime on admin, think about how much more people could be doing. You don't need you don't need paid people, paid staff to do this. You need a heart and you need a soul and you need a drive.
How much did you guys spend this year on all these families, if you
100
don't mind me asking?
it was I think about 110,000 cash. And then all the in kind. So we get a lot of in kind, people donate wares and clothing and candles and all kinds of great stuff. We have a lot of community partners. I think all in the gift drive is probably around 300 plus thousand with everything that goes into it. I mean, we
Wow.
go all in on these families. I mean, each individual, our budget is around 300 per person. If there's a need to do more, we can. And then, of course, we do the food baskets, the toiletry baskets, and the cleaning supply baskets and the makeup stuff. And so, it all adds up and it's a very robust, like once in a lifetime being sparkled is like it's a thing, right? And that's by design. We want it to be a big thing.
But when you
I
think
will
about
say that, oh, I'm
when
sorry.
you think
Go
about
on.
the group that we're serving, the single mothers and their kids, they are the most unseen, unheard, unsupported group. There are not a lot of organizations or pathways for single moms specifically to get assistance, which is part of the reason Samantha really saw a need in the market. This was a very underserved group. And these women will rarely feel the ability to shine. I mean, they're working so hard to make sure their children shine that they forget themselves. So for them, and we do this for the kids and the moms, right? And I'll tell you, we can stretch the shit out of $300.
Oh yeah.
I'm
And
sorry. I'm going to disagree with you two. There is no way that the family that I was wrapping gifts for, that was 300 per person. There's no way. I wrap more gifts. I was wrapping for 2 hours and I had a helper with me and we were slamming and I was like, my whole entire family is not going to get as much as this mom and child. I mean, I thought it was like $3,000, quite frankly, for
most
the
of
two
these
of them.
moms go into Christmas season with the expectation that they will not be able to do Christmas for their kids. So they've got
Oh
these
my
kids
God.
that are, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, even 16, 17, and they're having to look their children in the eyes, especially in this economy, especially in this environment, especially in this inflationary world we live in right now, and look them in the eye and say, we're not really going to be able to do Christmas if we want to pay rent and put food on the table. Like that, nobody should feel that. Nobody should have to say that to their kids, right? It
Oh,
doesn't
for
have to be
sure.
big, but a lot of these women have told us I was not going to be able to do anything.
Wow. What I find so beautiful is that you're just, besides all this generosity, you're restoring dignity and not just giving gifts. I mean, you're creating a community and you're creating hope, which is so beautiful. How do you guys feel about that?
It's a big emotion and it's a big lift, to have those headlines, that we're fulfilling. But I think the coolest thing, and it happens every year, and this year was no different than any, we get a lot of the moms that come back. So our ideal sparkle mom is, somebody that just kind of needs that reset, get back on the tracks and go on her merry way. Or, if you think about a trampoline, we're here to bounce her back up and off she goes. And so a lot of these women come back year after year to help wrap and pay it forward to another family,
I
deliver,
love that.
be involved. And so I think that part, it gives me the chills even just saying it. Like when I looked in that room on Saturday, like I knew a lot of those women were women that we have supported in different ways or, just been a part of our Sparkle family. And that I think is the most unique and special part of what we do. In addition to like creating space for people like yourself, like these kids that come in and help, everybody's there doing something for someone else, which we're in such a saturated market where everyone's so me focused, you feel like all you see is a lot of just not so great stuff all the time out there. And to have a room full of people genuinely just doing good for someone other than themselves. I mean, that is like chef's kiss.
Yeah, don't
It's
think it
it's a
doesn't
room.
restore faith in us too.
Yeah.
Like walking into that room and seeing it all set up and ready to go and having the volunteers all come in and all of a sudden every gift is being wrapped and every table is being touched. And I don't know, somehow we get in and out of that gym to where you don't even know we were there in 3.5 hours. Like that
It's
restores my faith in humanity.
Do you two take a moment during that 3 hours that we're all in there rapping? Do you just grab each other's hands and look each other in the eye and go, "Can you believe we did this? Like, how did this?" I mean, I hope you take a moment to just acknowledge all your do-goodery
For me, it's
because
a lot of looking back at videos and pictures after we're done because we're so
it's
in
too
it
much.
at the three
Yeah,
and a half hours. We're running around, we're trying to fill holes, we're trying to step in and help where we can. And then you look back at the pictures and you're like, holy shit, what
Yeah.
just happened?
I have that
Santa was
moment.
even there this year. That was cool.
Yeah, no, Santa's huge. I have the moment usually in the morning before the calm before the storm, or I'm usually the last person out the night before. So I really just I always take the same picture of myself with all the gifts everywhere, and I have the moment, but it's not usually until about 2 days later that I really calm down. Like last night was my cry. Like you start to see the pictures of the families and the kids, and I had posted a picture of a little guy with our sparkle ornament, putting it on a tree, and it was just these little teeny hands,
Oh,
and you could almost just feel the smile on the other side of that,
oh.
that person. And that to me is just, I mean, that's where it gets a little overwhelming and emotional. But uh, post wrap day, we've started implementing like a team brunch. So we tend to try to get together right after everybody goes. We did it, this is our second year doing it. And not everybody joins, but those that do, it's a nice reflective moment for us to just sit down and go like, damn, like we just did that.
Truly. I mean,
Yeah.
and you know another thing that's remarkable, your husbands both show up, your children all show up, and everyone is smiling. Everyone, it's the amount of love and energy in that room that day is like it could light up the world.
Sparkle is the mob, I'm telling you.
It is the mob, the mommy mob.
Well, and it's not just what we do, it's who we are. It's a part of us, it's a part of our families, it's a part of our tradition, a part of our being. I mean, unfortunately, my husband and children have no choice, right? But it is like one of those things that where it's like this is what we do as an organization, as a family, as a unit, and all of us, collectively on the board, all of our families are involved, whether they like it or not. I mean, even Phoenix, Angeles, who's new to the group, she goes, my brother's out here doing this, and this is amazing. And I go,
Heck
yeah,
yeah, he is.
my brother's in LA doing the same thing with my mom. Like it's great, and it's really unique to be able to tie in your whole family into such a cool moment.
Sparkle has expanded into multiple cities. What does that growth mean to the both of you?
Dream big, baby, and then the dreams come true. I mean, my idea and my pie in the sky, or my BHAG, if you will, has always been to have sparkles everywhere. And so as long as got boots on the ground, we can make it happen. So for me, it's like it's kind of this like I don't know. We built the sparkle in the box model, and now we know it works, and so it's really just implementing it. But it's a heavy lift and a big undertaking too. I think Fleece probably rolls her eyes when she hears me start talking about another chapter.
Often, often, but I don't think we can underestimate the amount of need that there is for support for single moms, whether it's our enrichment scholarships for, sports, dance, cheerleading, music, things that schools used to do and they can't anymore and they're very expensive, or whether it's the microloans for the single moms who are either wanting to start a business or further build their business and giving them not only funds, but also literally an advisory board that is usually a piece of our networks. We tap into our own networks. What do you need? Great. We're going to go find it and we're going to get it for you for free. And then, of course, the holiday gift drive. But there's so much need out there. I don't think there's anybody listening to this or driving around in the world today that isn't either A, a single mom, B, raised by a single mom, or C, knows a single mom. So think about that level of impact on the world and this silent group that doesn't feel seen, which I speak from personal experience, knowing. that you don't feel seen. And so to be able to provide that in other locations across the country would be pretty cool. It's big, but just in the chapters we built, we see the need.
So you saying you're not rolling your eyes at me?
I am rolling my eyes at you,
Oh,
but
she
I'm
always
saying
is
I
rolling her eyes at you.
understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
She gets you.
Yes, she does.
Let's shift this a bit. So you started, how did Sparkle start? Was it with the Christmas? So I know we do the backpack thing in at the end of summer for kids going back to school. Why don't you tell me about the other little pieces that are sprouting out from this?
Yeah, so we started with Christmas. I started Christmas 22 years ago. So I did it a long time before we became Sparkle, as Stacy had mentioned. It originally was Christmas, and then it kind of, once we became an official 501(c)(3), we were like, well, hey, we could do a little bit more here. So we have three pillars, and we really just focus on those three, and we're really impactful and pointed in our approach. So one is the holiday gift drive. The second is our enrichment scholarship. So we provide scholarships to children of single parents that need, they want to play sports, they need tutoring, they need driver's ed, they need to go to DC for the school trip. Imagine a single mom is putting food on the table, roof over the head, and now son or daughter wants to play basketball and it's $700 and she's like, can't do it, right? Sparkle does it. So this last year, I've sent 60 kids through different enrichment programs, almost $60,000, which is pretty cool. And we've been able to
Wow.
fund a lot of these programs for like a sufficient long period, like 9 to 12 month period of time, which has been really cool. As we've grown, so as our, able to be impactful there. And then we have the microloans. So we provide microloans, $5,000 to $15,000 to single moms that want to start or grow their businesses. And we've funded two so far. We know it works. It's great. It's interest-free money, along, as Stacy mentioned, with mentorship. And then we've had two successful loans. Almost the second one's almost paid back, and we'll be ready to fund again in 26. I'd like to do two of them next year if possible.
And
Can you
the
tell?
cool part
Go
about
on.
that too is with those funds, they are growing their businesses, and both of them that we've done so far hired more women into their
Yes.
business. So not only are we
Wow.
helping them grow their business and helping them become more financially independent, we're literally creating jobs in our community.
That is so beautiful. Tell me about can you get into what the businesses are? I mean, you don't have to get into their names or their personal information, but what kind of businesses have they started?
Stacy, you can take this one.
Our first one, she had essentially a med spa. And it was very small. It was just kind of her in one treatment room. And the logic was if I can get a second treatment room, I can be running two treatments at the same time. I can hire people, train them, and literally double the income was the
Wow.
thought process around that. And that one was no, I feel like it was shortly after the height of COVID when these things were opening back up. So her
Hmm.
timing was really great in terms of being able to grow that business when things were getting going again. And our second one was an independent insurance agent who wanted to grow her book of business, and in the process has hired four people, I think now. Because she's gotten that big and gotten that busy to where
Wow.
she can now support employees. So like I said, they both have hired additional people, coincidentally, all women, I believe, and
Yeah.
some single moms, as a matter of fact. And so to be able to not only, like I said, help them get to a place where they feel more safety, like a safety net, and be able to create it for others too.
I have a quote here. The more people who care, the brighter the sparkle. Is that something that one of you has said?
I don't know. I haven't heard that
I
one, but I
haven't heard
like
that
that.
one, but I love it.
Yeah, I like it a
Okay,
lot.
good. Is there a moment from the holiday gift drive that stays with either of you?
I think this last year, when I'm looking at it from a bird's eye down at, multiple different areas doing the same thing and like watching Phoenix basically duplicate efforts like what, they've been able to see us do here in the Bay Area. I mean, that to me is just like I just had this like overwhelming whoa moment, just kind of watching all that play out. And then I think always just seeing all the kids coming to help the other kids. And now our kids are all getting grown up. And so, this is all they've known their whole lives. And now they're, bringing in the next generation. They're bringing in their friends. And that part of it, I think, always is the coolest. But this year, I don't know, it felt like a little more of a heavier approach with the kids. What do you say, Stace?
I sort of love the Jerry Lewis telethon effect of having all of us do it at the same time on the same day in different cities, and then we're, sending each other videos and pictures so we can see what's happening at the other chapters. It makes for a very special day. I always love when I get maybe some new friends, new contacts to come volunteer who've never been there before, and I don't oversell it, but I know that they think I'm overselling it. I literally am like, if you can't get in the Christmas spirit after this morning, there's something wrong with you, and we're going to have further discussions. And so
Oh
they
yeah.
come in and they're just like they you try to give them a concept, but they have no concept. And when they walk in and see that gym and see what's going on and start wrapping presents and move to another table because they finished that one, and invariably, I don't think there's a single person who didn't tell me, I'm in next year. Make sure you put me on the list. I'm going to come back next year. I would love to hear, though, about your experience delivering this year, because I think this first time you've
Yes.
done that, and
Yes.
that's a heavy lift. That's an emotional moment, and it's a heavy.
It was. It really was. So I had a mom, and she had I don't know her backstory at all, but she was living in an apartment. I called her and let her know I was arriving, and I showed up at her door. I could tell she was overwhelmed. Um, and I just said, "Hi, like Sparkle's here for you." And she was flabbergasted. Like her eyes were popping out of her head with all of like my car. I have quite a large car that was stuffed with clothes. I mean, not clothes, gifts for she and her child. And I just know that it meant so much. And then I even got a text from her, which I relayed to the two of you, how grateful she was. And I think that's the beauty of it, just seeing how people are grateful for what you're doing. And the best part for me that when you guys tell me that you've helped moms who are now helping other moms. And I think that's the beauty of women is especially women because we are grateful and it's in our nature to help others. So I do think that's super special. Christmas magic isn't loud, it's felt. And I completely agree with you that that magic, the Christmas magic, was felt in that auditorium by everyone that was there. Why do you think the holiday season is such a powerful time for this kind of work?
Because I think it's a family time. I think it's a traditional time. And I think there's a lot of pressure and expectations on this time. And if there's no extra cash, I mean, it can be an incredibly challenging and stressful time. And so being able to like just take that pin out of the equation for a mom and say, listen, like we're going to take all this pressure off of you so that you can just like breathe and enjoy the time with your family. I mean, that's what Sparkle does. And that's what we're able to do. And, the other thing about Sparkle is we only give one time. So it's a one-time situation. It's not, we don't serve the same families over and over again. And we do that because we
I
want to
think
be
that's
able
smart.
to serve others. I mean, we had over 200, I think it was like 250 or
Yeah.
260 applications come in this year, which is the most. I mean, I remember in the old days, it was like hard to find families. And now it's like we can only do what our budget can allow us to do. And physically, like, I don't think we could do more. I think 100, is a good fit for us as an org, just with our size and where we're at. But yeah, I mean, I just think the holidays it's a tough time for a lot of people. And, we try to just take that burden off and make it not so tough.
Well, I think too for the volunteers, we're all going so fast during the year. We're, raising kids, we're working, we're keeping a household, we're doing all of the things, we're taking care of aging parents or whatever it is, and you can get really caught up in your own world, right? Where you get to the point where you're only seeing 6 feet in front of you. And I think to have an opportunity to stop and take a breath, especially in a world that feels really shitty right now, and to slow down and be able to say, there are people that I can help. There are people that I can make a difference for. And
Huge difference.
we then remember we're kind of all in this together. And so I think for the volunteers too, it's taking a pin out of it and sort of decompressing and remembering what really matters.
So let's chat a little bit about okay, so you guys just finished. When do you start working on next year? And what is it like the process like for do you have does the shopping for all of this? Because there are truckloads and truckloads of gifts. There's bikes, there's kitchens for I mean, I can't even explain. And even, you were mentioning that you thought your friend thought that you were exaggerating. I don't even think you can exaggerate it. Like whatever we say, until you see what that room is like, you can't exaggerate it.
It's wild. Yeah, so we take January, February off historically. This last year we kicked in with the fires in LA, so we didn't get this year's been crazy. We've been nonstop this whole year. But yeah, so January, February, the board takes a break. We get back together end of February, beginning of March. We queue in for Mother's Day, and then we typically do a big fundraiser. We sometimes do backpacks, sometimes we don't. I don't know what we're going to be doing this year yet, but holiday gift drive kicks off October 1. So October 1 is when we send out the nomination. Forms are available for people to go online and nominate. That stays open for 30 days. And at that point, usually on Halloween, we have gone through the families, selected our families. And then from November 1 to usually December 12th or 13th, that is when the board gets to work. So we find the families that we're going to work with, we contact them, we get their wish lists, we get down to the size, the color, the nitty gritty, what they need. And then we divide and conquer. So this year, each of us got 8 families
Wow, that's a
in
lot.
our board here in California, and then everybody else had their own thing that they were working with. But we divided 8 each, and then we were responsible to shop for those families. So if some of the board members 100% shopped, others like myself, because I kind of do all the gift baskets and stuff, I farmed out a lot of my shopping and only did 2 myself. But it kind of just depends on what you got going on. And then the gifts come in here to either my house or board member's house. And then we have a warehouse where we store things. So every couple days we're going to the warehouse, which is usually a donated space with big boxes for each family. And then the day before we wrap, we have an actual moving company that takes all the boxes out and gets it over to the venue for us to set up, sort, and then the folks come in to wrap. So start to finish, the gift drive usually starts October 1 and we're done by December 12th, second week of December. To
And
give you,
shout out to the moving company because they donate all the wardrobe boxes for us. In the
yes.
warehouse, we
Wow.
have wardrobe boxes set up, and each box represents a family. So as you buy the gifts, you're dropping them into this wardrobe box, and then and they also come, and when we're ready, they come and pick up all the boxes and move them to our Santa's workshop where we wrap, and they do that all as a donation.
They
It's
told me, the movers, because they've been with us now for 5 or 6 years, they told me that they fight over the shift because they all like to help with Sparkle. And
Oh,
the
I
two
love
senior
that.
guys usually get the gig. And one of them came up to me this year and he made me cry. And he goes, Sam, I just want to tell you, like, this day, this moment, watching you grow and like what we're doing, like to have such a small part of it makes me feel so good because I know what's in these boxes and what this signifies for these women. And he's like, my mom was a single mom. And he got it. He understood. So we're impacting every way, every step we take. Everybody that's involved is we're all fully subscribed.
Stacy, describe one word for Sparkle. What's one word that describes Sparkle?
if you ask me today, I'm going to say exhausting.
Yes,
But in a typical day, I would say Sparkle is about service and love.
beautiful. Sam?
I would say it's me, right? I feel like sparkle is my entire being. It's what I wake up, I do. But if I had to just give one word, I would say impact because that's what it means to me. It means we're impacting.
What was this question is to both of you. What is the most emotional moment that you had this season? And it doesn't have to just be Christmas. It could be during the year for all the
When we
things that
went
you
and
guys have
delivered
done.
those bags for fire, I think that was the most
Oh,
emotional
wow.
thing Fleece and I have done together in a long time. We bagged up, I think, 160 suitcases
Yeah.
filled with stuff, and we drove this big old Sprinter van thing down to LA. Her and I are driving down like Latuna Canyon in Topanga, and I don't know what we were doing. It was a one-way, blown out with fire road. Here we were, Dukes of Hazzard style, and everywhere around us looked like a dragon just like blue fire. And I'd grown up in LA. I'd never seen anything like it. But you saw these people and driving in Altadena. Remember that, Stace, where we just saw those
Yeah.
lines of people getting food and
Yeah, it's all the FEMA tents and
uh
and then like tables people had just set up on the side of the road just as as individuals or neighborhoods who came together, and they just had like one table just had a whole bunch of diapers and wipes, different sizes, like who needs diapers for their kids? Like just it was crazy. It was really crazy.
I think at one point we looked at each other. We're driving down the freeway. We just both had like tears streaming from our eyes. I mean, we were so tired. We were so overwhelmed, and we were just so like it was so emotional. That I think was one of the more emotional ones. And the other thing that always gets me is when somebody stops me in the street, in like the street or in the store. I'll have a sparkle hat on, and it'll be somebody that was impacted by what we do, and they'll say, "You have no idea what you've done for my family," and that always just like I'm always like really like, oh, and then I just get in the car and I cry because it's just, I mean, it's when you're putting,
It's so much.
it's so heavy. It's such a
Yeah.
big emotion.
How does this kind of support change, not just Christmas, but the months that follow for these families?
I'll let you take that one, Stace.
Well, I think just taking the burden, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but for lack of a better word, the burden of Christmas off their shoulders in that month of December, that then frees them up to breathe a little bit into the coming months of the new year. And, I can fully understand a very, very tight budget. I've been there, I've done it, I live it. And it's, if you can get a little bit of a lift like that, and the food baskets and the grocery gift cards that again buy you some breathing room. There is nothing. That's probably the best gift we can give any of the moms. Forget everything we wrapped, right? To buy them sleep at night for a period of time because they've got some space in their world is
Huge.
it's huge. It's you can't put a price on it.
When did you guys start the baskets? Because I don't recall seeing those before.
Oh, we've always done them. And the board hates them, but I've
We do.
always done them from day one. I have always done the food and I've always done cleaning and makeup. I remember the first couple years, because I didn't have that many families, I, maybe had five or six. We would do fresh turkeys, like bring in a frozen bird. There's a picture of
Oh
me
my God.
20 years ago, and I'm like I don't even know where I am. I'm on the street somewhere and I've got this bird that's bigger than my body is. But yeah, I think the food and just the toiletries and the cleaning supplies. I mean, this year alone, when I was, because I do all the shopping for the baskets, I mean, a bottle of Windex, used to be like 1.99. The same bottle of Windex now is 5.95, right? And
Yeah.
Wow.
that's just Windex. Think about everything else. So, just a little bit of that breathing room, but then also the support of knowing like there's people out there that see you. Like, and we give with no strings attached. Like, we're not looking for anything other than just a smile on your face. That's what fuels us. And so I think just knowing that there's people out there that care and that want to be supportive of others, I think that part is, I think that resonates with every single recipient.
So, how did you get these other cities to get involved? How did you get Sacramento and Phoenix and LA? And if if people that are listening to this, and I hope so many people do, want to get involved for their city, tell like what's that process like?
So LA is where I'm from. That's where I started doing this. So the crew that's down there is Robert. Robert and I have been doing this for 23 years, 22 years. So he just kind of does Christmas and he gets the program. Rachel in Sacramento also grew up with me in LA. And so she moved
Uh,
there and about 6, 7 years ago, she goes, "Hey, I'd like to do this up here. This is where I live." So then we opened SAC. Phoenix is our like real beta where it's somebody that's not, part of my
the
network.
relatives, right?
Yeah. So Angeles actually had originally called me wanting to start a nonprofit for women because she had a single moms networking group she had formed. And we were chatting, and then I was just kind of talking to her, and I said, "Well, why don't you come and see what we do here in the Bay? And if it's something of interest, like I can help you, figure it out. But why don't you come see what we do?" So she flew out, booked a ticket, came out 2 years ago for Christmas, and was like, "I'm in." And so why create a new wheel? We already have the wheel built. So we just said, let's open up Sparkle Phoenix. So the first year we funded her 10 families. We fundraised and funded for them. And then this year she took off running, had a big fundraiser, raised a bunch of money, took on 26 families. And she's just like, she's rocking and rolling. So, as long as you've got a network, a purpose, a want, and boots on the ground, we've got Sparkle in a box. Like we can make it happen. It just really just requires a certain person that's willing to just do the work.
What's one small act of kindness anyone can do this season that creates a ripple effect?
I think any need that you see, and it doesn't have to be a financial thing. It just sometimes it's just complimenting somebody because their hair looks great. Sometimes it's holding the door open, helping somebody carry something out of a store that's too heavy for them to do alone. It just see a need. See, they always say you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what struggles they have. And if you can just brighten up one person's day every day, make their day just better for that minute, this world wouldn't feel so shitty.
I agree. How has Sparkle changed you personally, Stacy Fleece?
Mm.
So how's it changed me to be able to be on the other side and giving back now to the people who are where I was and knowing what they've been through and knowing what they have ahead of them. Um, to be able to be the person that brings them through that or has a little part in bringing them through that is a big deal to me.
Sam?
It's who I am. It's always been who I am. And so it's so much more than I ever imagined it to be. What really just started off as like literally me and a clipboard and a crazy idea of just not finding what I wanted because I was so over how charities would spend money and I like had no money. And if I was going to give you $100, I wanted to make sure that it went to go serve who I wanted it to, not go to
Right.
pay Bob's salary and Sally's lunch. Like that didn't make sense to me, even as a 20-year-old. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I was just put on this earth to sparkle, and so that's what I do, and I do it in honor of my grandma. I do it in honor of these incredible women like Stacy and these. I mean, single moms or just women in general are so badass, and they don't ask for help, and it's such an underserved category. And when you even look at like donations that come in for organizations. Women and children are always on the bottom of the totem pole. Why is that? I don't know. But like if we're able to fill that gap even a small way in our regional area, like game on. And I will continue to do it as long as I possibly can because I feel like it's, a community that deserves to be served.
If every Sparkle family was watching right now, what would you want them to know?
We love you. We do. We do it for you.
That's nice. Please.
I would just want them to know that we just truly wish them a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
If people want to get involved, donate, or open a chapter in another city, what is the best way that they can get a hold of you too?
Sparklenow.org is our website. That you can find us. You can click buttons, and there's a button that says start a chapter. There's a button there that says donate right out front. And we're always excited to partner and be in community with different organizations too. We do a lot of collaborations and different cool things. I mean, our focus is single moms, so as long as it fits that box, there's usually something that we can do to make it make sense.
On a personal note, are you two ready for Christmas, or does that kind of get on the back burner?
No, no, we are not because as board members, we really don't get to start our own Christmas until this one's done. And so, the later in the month Sparkle goes, the later in the month we start our own. So I will tell you, after we finished on Saturday, I did finally get my tree decorated, I think on Monday this week. It
Nice.
had been up for I guess the Monday after Thanksgiving. I bought it and put it up. Couldn't do anything with it. I was like, I do not have time. Um,
Right. And
but
you want to take that time. I really enjoy, I know you do as well. You want to take that time to put the music on, light a
yeah,
candle, have a Christmas movie on, and decorate the tree. You
yeah.
don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to throw it up. And it's not something you have, it's something you want to do with love and fun.
Well,
And
for
I
years,
mean,
all the warehousing was done in my house. So I would have these wardrobe boxes.
that's
When
true.
we were managing 25 or 30 families, I could store it here. And my entire life was, it was like a labyrinth of boxes. So when we moved out of my house and I could have like I could pop up a Christmas tree and do that, it was like, okay. But you know, it's interesting. So when the kids were little, and all of us now on the board, everybody's got older kids, so it's a lot easier. When they were little, it was a lot harder because
Oh,
then you
yeah.
really had to, create a different Christmas magic. And I think as the kids have all gotten older, yeah, we still gotta do all the stuff, but it's not, I don't feel like it's as much pressure, at least right now today. I feel
Right.
like it's a little bit more manageable than it used to be.
Right.
I try to do some shopping, family shopping in like literally September, October,
Yeah.
knowing that come November, I am shopping for a lot of other people and I do not have time for you. I have to tell my UPS guy, my Amazon guy, like I literally have to go outside and explain to them. I want to be clear. These are not all for us. Like
Yeah.
I shopped for six of my eight families this year. I had two people who wanted to take a family on. So I gave them each a family and then I shopped for the other six. But shopping for six families,
I
they're
can't even
up on
imagine
my
because
goal
it's
every
not,
day.
yeah. And it's not like you're just giving them one or two gifts. I'm telling you, my family had at least 30 gifts,
Oh
at
yeah.
least
Oh yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
So, what have you noticed with your children and your spouses that have, participated? What do you think has changed them, or what do you like? Tell me a moment or something that's said or that
I
you've
don't usually
noticed.
go and do the deliveries unless there's a need for me to plug in. I haven't done one in a while, but I know that my girls have gone out and done the deliveries before, and I think it's a really interesting experience for the young kids to go out and see, like, oh, okay, like this is what we're doing, and putting the whole piece
In
together.
perspective, yes, because it is
Um,
different. Our children see how we all live and how our friends all live. But for them to go see like someone's living in a small apartment with not a lot, it's impactful. Have you
Yeah, and
found that?
and some of them are like, the Sparkle mom isn't always the woman that's living in a small apartment. She may be somebody down the street that you might not even think you is
Right.
struggling. And so I think just putting the human connection to it
Hmm.
is, I think, what's really cool for my kids. And these girls, Bardo sits on our junior board. She's 15. Monroe is up and coming in that way. And so they're getting to see a lot of decision making and a lot of big girl stuff, and watch processes and conflict and resolution and all those different things. And so I think it's really taught them a lot about running an organization, being involved in an organization, and then also an organization that impacts individuals as directly as we can, and has that emotional component. So for them, I think it's cool. And for my husband, I mean, man, he knows he better just put his sparkle shirt on and show up with a smile on his face. Now
He
he's been
he
around for
does. He does.
he was with me, like, I think the first year we met, I was, we maybe been dating for a little bit. And I was like, hey, we're gonna go deliver gifts. Like, we're gonna go downtown in LA and do this. And he was just like, what the hell? And he's,
I bet that made him just love you all the more.
I mean, or think I'm crazy, but either
All
or.
the above.
He's still around, so that says something.
Stace, what about you, your family, and your husband?
Well, I have I have always been involved in service, and locally here, before they were born, I was a member of the Junior League of San Francisco. I'm still a member of the Junior League. I'm a past president of the Junior League, and so in their younger days, they were dragged, not really dragged, but kind of
Kind of
to
dragged. Yeah.
to a lot of junior league activities. But the opportunities that they had to be able to volunteer in a way where they could see the direct impact. This is not just about going to do some heavy lifting and not seeing the end result. So the challenge I think we have a lot of times in this society is people do want to give back, people do want to expose their children, and it's very difficult to find opportunities where you can
Hmm.
really get them exposed in such a direct manner. So Junior League was a great opportunity for me to do that, at least in the earlier years, and then certainly in the last 10 years. Having that direct impact, that direct touch and sparkle. Both my kids have gone out and delivered with me in Sonoma, and in East Oakland and in the San Francisco projects. And, they've gotten to see sort of these people that we directly touch and that their work did this. Um, my husband also, like he's been a coach and a teacher for his entire career. He's given his whole life. Like he's a he's a pillar of service. So getting him involved isn't too difficult. He doesn't love the early Saturday morning, but God love him. He says, "You tell me when to be there, and I will be there."
I love that. This season, the Sparkle Foundation is proof that kindness still changes lives. And if you want to be part of this incredible mission, visit sparklenow.org to learn that you can support, donate, or volunteer. And from all of us here at I'm Too Busy, I thank you both.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Happy
Merry Christmas.
holidays.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. I am Christina Flach, and I'm Too Busy, and I'm about to cry. So I'll see you next week.